guys, it's Katelyn, and today I'm going to be trying different viral TikTok food hacks. As you can see, I'm in my kitchen instead of my bedroom, and I'm just going to be trying different recipes I've been seeing that I've been wanting to try. Obviously, we're on this app a lot, and I've probably been seeing the same recipes. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. If you want to see part 2, maybe, because there's so many recipes. And if you want to subscribe, that's cool too. And let's just get into this video. So the first thing I see a lot is this pancake cereal trend things. All you need is just some pancake mix, a bag, and a fork and water. I don't know how good this is gonna taste, but we'll try it. I'm basically just gonna put some pancake mix in a bowl. I'm not using a ton of it because I don't wanna make a lot of it. And then you're just gonna add some water. Now I'm just gonna heat up a pan and cook the mini pancakes. The key thing you want to do is just cut slit. I hope that wasn't too much. And then you just start pouring it. I just completed this. I mean, it took a while to kind of cook and flip them all individually. That I don't really recommend because it was really hard and time consuming. Like, it would just be so much easier to make 1 or 2 pancakes in the time to make this. And I didn't even make that much of it. If you look at the actual video, they made a ton of little mini ones, but it was so hard to get it out of the little Ziploc bag. I guess time for the taste test. I mean, it's good, but like with how much effort you're putting into this little bowl of pancakes, like just make normal pancakes. And besides, I don't know about you guys, but I do like chocolate chips on my pancakes, and this didn't have any chocolate chips in the recipe. It's a cool concept. So the next recipe that we're trying are these fudge brownies, and apparently they're supposed to be really, really good, and they're like the best homemade brownies, and I'm gonna be putting that to the test. I mean, I've never ever made homemade brownies. I've only ever made them out of the box mix, so I'm curious to see how this plays out. Let me just get all the ingredients, because there's actually a lot more ingredients in this one than those, this.
Brownie points but still make it from a box? Proper brownies.
3/4 of a cup unsalted butter, small pot in, pan on.
Medium heat.
Make it melted.
Half a cup of flour.
3/4 of a cup cocoa powder. Half a teaspoon of salt.
Secret ingredient, espresso powder.
1.5 teaspoons of that.
Some whiskey business. In a separate bowl, 1 1/4 cup of granulated sugar.
Melted butter. Whiskey business. Ooh. 2 whole eggs. Just half of that cocoa mix. Fuck it, we'll do the rest of it. Now mix all that together
Until completely smooth.
Salmonella. 4 ounces of chocolate.
Chop that up.
Should look a little bit like that.
And fold together.
8x8 baking pan oil.
In. Spread it out.
That bad boy in the oven. 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
35 to 40 minutes.
And let it cool to room temperature, please. Cut 9 slightly uneven slices.
Now that I have all my ingredients, I'm just gonna start with what the video says first, and obviously he melted his butter first in a separate pan, and I guess I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna use the same pan that I was using in the last one. I don't see a problem with it. I'm just melting the butter down, so. As the butter is melting over there, I'm just gonna put all my dry ingredients in this bowl and then later combine it in another bowl with all the wet ingredients.
Where did y'all go? When I was shit broke, couldn't even buy smokes. Now your mama needs tickets to my stadium show.
And now in a separate, bigger bowl, I'm just gonna combine all the wet ingredients and the butter and then put this in slowly right after it. This is actually where I messed up. The recipe called for 1/4 of a cup of sugar, and I read it or heard it as 1 1/4 cup of sugar. So I thought I needed a whole entire cup and 1/4 for sugar. And then what also didn't help is that I was using a 1/2 cup measuring cup, and I thought I was using a 1/4 cup measuring cup. So I thought I needed 4 scoops to equal 1 cup. So I basically ended up using like 2 whole cups of sugar. does it literally look like a turd? I just ended up putting the brownies in this pan and I'm about to put it in the oven. I'm waiting for it to preheat. But I don't know if I did it right because the batter is a lot more thicker than it looks like in the video. I don't know if you guys can see it, just the texture of it, it like doesn't move. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I'm hoping that everything kind of melts in the oven and it turns out somewhat okay. I mean, they're supposed to be fudgy brownies, so maybe that's why the batter is so thick, but I think I over measured on something like the flour or the sugar or something like that. It's hard to follow the tutorials because they're all under 60 or 15 seconds, but we'll see how it turns out. Are you guys seeing that? The brownies are done and they are really, really like hard, but we're gonna try them. Like the texture is just, they're definitely fudgy looking. I don't know, they have like a really weird looking texture. I would give it like a 3 out of 10. The edges are really, really hard. And then the middle is actually somewhat fudgy, but it's just like the taste of it is very, it's like sugary. There's a lot of sugar in it and it just doesn't have any other kind of flavor. It could be me though. I probably over measured a lot of the things in this, so I don't think it's just the video because the video turned out a lot differently than what this looks like. For those, 3 out of 10. This next one is actually kind of somewhat easy. All you need is just a mug, almond milk, and eggs. But then you just add what you have in your fridge to create this omelet.
It's omelet in a mug time. Grab your favorite mug, spray it with some oil, and then grab whatever you have in your fridge, chop it up, and if it's meat, just make sure it's cooked. Then add in 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of almond milk, and then mix it up. Put it in your microwave for 1 minute, then take it out, give it a little mixeroo, and then put it in for another minute, and then top it with some salsa. You guys, we have an omelet in a mug.
I just have some salsa, cheese, a lemon, and this avocado salsa. She said whatever. I don't really have any chicken or anything right on my hand, so I'm just gonna put in the stuff. Now that I have all the basic stuff to make my omelet, now I need to add in the 2 key ingredients that make this an omelet. So I'm just gonna add 2 eggs and then 2 tablespoons of almond butter, and this will make it an omelet. And then the recipe said to mix it after a minute and then put salsa on top, but I already put it in the mug. I mean, I guess I'll put a little bit on the top, but then after that, you're gonna put it in the microwave for another minute. So I just finished making the omelet. I'm actually surprised on how much it turned out like to look like an omelet. I wasn't expecting really what to come out of this. So I'm just gonna taste test it right now. I wish I had more of like a meat, like a chicken or ham actually would taste really, really good in this, I feel like. Besides on how hot it is, I actually really, really like this. I can picture myself making it breakfast in the mornings. I actually really like this. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Like the stuff I made it with, it's not as good as it could be. I feel like ham actually would be really, really good in this, but I'll give it an 8 out of 10. So the next thing we're gonna be trying is this cookie recipe, but all it is 6 ingredients and it makes 1 singular cookie that you can cook in the microwave.
1 tablespoon of butter and melt it. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of milk. Stir it together really well. 3 tablespoons of flour. Add the chocolate chips. Spread it on a plate, and then you're going to microwave for 30 seconds. Take it out, put it back in for a second 30 seconds, and there you go.
I mean, it's a cool concept. I don't know how well it works yet, but we're gonna see. I just let this cookie cool for actually a couple hours. I went on TikTok, wasting time, ironically, right? Because I'm filming this type of video. Anyways, this should be cooled like a lot by now. I let it cool for like 3 hours. And let's taste test it. It's actually kind of big. Oh my God, it's so hard. What the heck? It's like, oh my God, it's like so hard. I'm just gonna take a bite of it. This is gonna be a negative 1 out of 10. It's probably because I let it cool for way too long, but like, do you guys hear that? Like, here, let me get closer. Like, do you guys hear this? last thing we're gonna be making today is a chocolate chip cookie recipe. These are apparently the world's best chocolate chip cookies. We're gonna find out. This recipe is actually by the same exact guy that made the brownie recipe. Hopefully it turns out okay compared to the brownies on how those turned out. Although honestly, I think it's my fault that I messed something up. I don't know what I did, but I'm pretty sure I measured something wrong. I'm going to pay attention really, really carefully to how he makes the cookies in this video, and I hope they turn out really, really good.
Look at the time. It's time to make the best chocolate chip cookies that have ever existed. 1.5 cups all-purpose flour. Half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon baking soda. My whisk is broken. Whisk that together. 3/4 a cup brown sugar. Half a cup granulated sugar. Whiskey business. Half cup of melted butter in 1 egg. Plus 1 egg yolk. 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla that I forgot to film again. Now that's what I like to see. Flour mixture, but just half of it first. Mix till combined. And add the rest of that bad boy. Mix, but be gentle. 6 ounces of chocolate. Chop it up. Should look something like this. Chocolate in. Sure, it's a little chocolate. Got a problem with that? Fold together. Plastic wrap. Chill in fridge about 20 minutes. The oven 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Baking sheet, parchment paper. Scoop cookies with an ice cream scoop, leaving lots of space. Bake 12 to 15 minutes or until golden brown. A little bit of flaky salt. Let them cool. That cookie break, you know?
Like these past years, actually, I've just had this staple cookie recipe that I always use. So maybe this one will be the new cookie recipe that I'm always gonna use because it is slightly different than the one I always use. So let's just get into it. I actually had to wrap this in plastic wrap, and now I'm gonna put it in the fridge for 20 minutes because you're apparently supposed to cool this. I just finished all these cookies and I'm actually really excited to try these out. They look really good compared to the brownies, right? I'll have this one. These are really good. I'm gonna give them a 9 out of 10. I mean, they're not like perfect. They're not like the best cookie I've ever had, which is what the title is of this TikTok. But honestly, they're really good. They're the best thing I made this whole day. Actually, I think the omelet that was probably my favorite make-wise. But these are actually really good. And I highly recommend you to try this recipe. So those are all the TikTok recipes that I have for you guys today. If you want to see a part 2 of this with more recipes, just make sure to give this video a like. And subscribe to my channel if you want to. I upload every Sundays, and I'm gonna be starting to upload every Wednesday as well throughout the summer. So keep an eye out for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys all next week. Bye!